Good morning. We're out here today. It's Thursday. I actually have 7 days off. On off Thursday, Friday, and then all of next week. Monday's supposed to be a holiday, so Jen and the kids will be coming up here this weekend. But right now I'm out here by myself with the dogs, and then my in-laws are here as well. But I'll probably end up doing the majority of the work by myself until my cavalry shows up this weekend. So one of the big projects that I'm going to try to get accomplished is we still have these two trees, that one big one there that I need to knock over, and then that maple at the very corner right there. After that, the line should be clear, and I'll probably just go through, level it out a little bit, maybe use the diamond cutter or the bucket on the skid steer to clean it up a bit. But knocking that big one out is going to be a little bit of a challenge. I don't think I've knocked anything out that big, so my initial thought is probably cut it with the chainsaw at the base, try to push it over and have it do a control fall, and then just grub out the stump around it with the excavator. So we'll see what happens, and I'm sure you'll follow along. I think I'm going to start off with the smaller one, the maple, compared to the larger one, try to build my confidence up, and then I'll try to knock it down, have it go that way, try not to take out the corner marker. And then there's a huge rock that I need to dig up. Kind of curious to see how big this rock's going to be, because it's right in the way of where we're supposed to put the fence line. So there's the rock, at least what's exposed. Now I use the excavator to dig it up and see how big of a rock that is, but you can see it's sort of in line where we need to put the fence, so definitely needs to come up because a post won't go through that. All right, I drug the maple over here from the corner. It was a little too heavy to pick up, so we'll cut this up for firewood. But you can see the drag marks over here. And then I dug up that little rock, which happened and turned into a big rock. And there it is right there. It's I don't know, probably a ton and a half rock that was just hanging out in way of our fence line. So, and then there's a whole bunch of rocks where the maple was in the root system, and that's going to be fun to take out. But there's the hole, and there's the rock that just pulled up. It's a good sized rock. And there's a whole bunch of little rocks where the maple was in the root system. So we got to clean all this up, because that's the corner and we need to build a fence line this way. So always fun fighting time in Mother Nature. Mother Nature this time kind of rocky, but we'll get over it. Here's tree number 2, the bigger one. It's a huge black walnut, probably way over 100 years old. I put the bucket on it because I wanted to fall that way. It seems like it has a tendency to potentially go this way. This one's too big. I'm not going to try to grub it out like I did the other one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all this up, get the chainsaw, put a nice wedge, cut the back, and then try to put some pressure with the skids on with the excavator's bucket and see if I can make it fall once I make a decent sized cut, and see if that'll weaken it. And then once it's down and it's safe for me to work because I don't have to worry about it potentially falling back on me, I'll grub up this, which would be a lot easier with just 3 or 4 feet of stump. The cut's been made. It's gone in, oh, a decent way, probably 2/3 of the way. It's leaning. When I cut, you could hear it pop, so I backed up really quick. I'm gonna try to push it over with the bucket now and see if it falls. If not, I'll get in there again, give it a couple of more cuts and see if that happens. Still alive, which is probably pretty important. There you go. It didn't fall exactly where I wanted to go, but no one got hurt, which is probably the most important thing. I can cut it up from here and probably drag it over in sections. Our fence line post marker is still there, so hopefully we can keep it there. And then once it's cut up, I can go ahead and grub this out. So pulled the stump out from the black oak, and whew, it was a pain to get out. It took me a good 30-45 minutes to grub out. The roots went all the way down a good 6-8 feet deep, and had to just constantly dig and dig around and dig around and dig around. Made a big hole, which I'm walking to right now, so you can see that tree is extremely heavy. So this is what it looks like. I filled in the dirt, took out a whole pile of rocks. This is where the maple was, right on the corner. And then I came back with the skid steer and the diamond cutter and tried to smooth it out and clean it up a little bit more. And then there was some at the end that still needed to be cleaned up, so I did that too. I also used the grapple on the skid steer to basically just rake and root everything up. I think for the rest of the day I'm going to use the chainsaw and just start cutting up rounds of that black maple, I'm sorry, the maple and the black walnut that I knocked down, and start cutting it up for firewood for my in-laws. So I think that's it.